Hi, this is Clinton here from Upwork. I thought I'd put together a quick video to show you my thoughts and processes about what I would do with a SEO campaign for your website. And it's always better to put it through in a video, I think, than send you over a bunch of text. So here we go. I've got your website up in front of me and I've had a sort of a quick look through. So first thing is the design looks good. I can see that you've got a lot of information, different types of information that for customers to mull over, but you're not here to hear the good stuff. You want to know what you can do to improve it. So the very first thing that I would do is sort of make sure that information is up to date. I can see that you've got some information dating 2021, that might want to be reviewed. The fact that you've got no way for people to contact you as well, is also something you might want to look to consider. So I can see that you've got a contact us page here, which will take you through to the ability for someone to contact you. But typically, if you want to generate people contacting you from your traffic, you want to make this as close to your homepage as possible, because that's always the strongest page on the website. So I would suggest having a means of either a telephone number up here at the top, or a means to a Calendly link where they can book a call into your calendar, so that you have people putting straight into your calendar times they want to speak based on the time that you are available to speak with them. That's another way of making it easier for people to contact you. Social referencing is good. You've got that up here on the top right. But the only thing that does also strike me as an issue is that when someone lands on your site, they have between 3 and 5 seconds to make a decision on whether they're going to stay on your site or not. And typically that's seen by someone having some big bold text up here on the front, which says exactly what the website does. So you can see here your text is sort of just going across below, close to the fold here. It's not sort of right in the center of the page where you want it to be to grab someone's attention, basically. So I would recommend even making this text bigger, moving the images around so that you can actually grab someone's attention within those 3 to 5 seconds, because at the moment it doesn't grab my attention. I sort of have to look around to try and figure out what I'm doing on this site. So that's another thing that I would look to improve on there. And then of course, just having a general skim down through the site. Google statistics show that any page ranking on any site ranking on page 1, positions 1, 2, and 3 would typically have around about 1,500 words on their homepage, if not more. This is something that you definitely do not have on site, so you want to look to increase the content that you have on your site, so it basically makes it easy for Google to understand the keywords that you want to rank for. So anyway, that's what your site looks like from the human's perspective, and that's just some general observations for me. Obviously there'll be more in line once I understand what your goals are. Hierarchy is just another thing that could also be moved around, because there's some things of more importance that you'd want to put in a different order up here for your hierarchy. So anyway, let's look at what your site looks like from the back end. So this is a tool called Ahrefs. It's one of the better ones out there. They are all just general, these tools, but this will give us a general idea of how the algorithm sees your site. So very first thing is, here's your title tag at the top. So again, homepage, that's a waste of text there. You don't need to have homepage written on that. You want to have it for the sorts of keywords that your customers are going to be searching to find your types of products and services. So that's definitely one thing you can even change yourself. So I would look to do that quickly. And then of course what we've got here is your domain rating. So the domain rating is basically Google's indicator to see how authoritative your site is. So the higher the DR, the higher the authoritative your site is, and then the greater chance you have of ranking. So with a DR of 1, it's very, very low, and considered not to have any sort of authority. And of course you'll see sites like Facebook and Google and all that, they'll have it up close to 99 or 100. So it's very important to try and increase this DR, but what makes up this DR is the number of backlinks and referring domains you have, the number of keywords that you're ranked for, and the traffic that those keywords are bringing you in, and the overall value that each of those keywords have. So that builds up the DR, and of course that's all done through SEO. So just looking over the past 1 year, I can see that your backlinks and everything's pretty stagnant. There's not too much going on there. You did have 4, it went up to 6, and then dropped down to 1. Again, this doesn't suggest there's been any active SEO, but what this map shows me down here is the number of sites that are linking to you are dominantly from the UK, which is one link, and the other one which is from Colombia. So, excuse me. So let's have a look now at the organic search, which again for the site there's not going to be too much data to look at, but it's good always just to a general overview. So we can see on average pretty much stable across the course of last year, between 30 and 40 people on a monthly basis visiting the site. And if we have a look at your top organic keywords, you've got customer modeling, client needs, your actual name, business modeling, and digital adoption. I don't know at this stage whether those are things you want to rank for or not. Only you'll know that at this stage. But we can see overall your homepage is the one that's generating the most amount of traffic from 29 keywords that it's picked up on there. So that's how your site looks like. Of course, there's a lot of work that can be done to improve that and increase that. It's basically should be considered as a brand new site because it doesn't have anything with regards to any value on there for keywords that it's ranking for. But I have opened up the keywords that you are ranking for, so at least give you a general idea of what you are ranking for. So we can see that this word is spent is 2,900 people searching on a monthly basis. You're currently at the bottom of page 2. If that's a keyword that you'd like to rank for, then that's something that we could look to increase the rankings on. But yeah, there's not too much here to excite us. But anyway, let's talk about what we're going to do with regards to an SEO campaign for your site. So what I like to do is I like to do an open book SEO approach. So that basically means that I look at Google and use Google with the information it already gives you to understand and determine where we would take your site. So for example, the very first thing that I do on your site, taking you in, is something which looks like this, which is a website quality audit. And this is basically bringing all the recommendations that we need to do, both from a technical aspect and a content aspect. Now, I won't bore you with any of the details, but I will just show you that this is sort of what the data looks like. It allows me to pull in every single page that you have on your site to get a full understanding of what we're going to do and make a decision on it from a technical standpoint and also from a content standpoint. So do you have pages there that are irrelevant or they're hurting your site? Do you have content on the site which is harming it, or there's not enough of it to actually help you rank? And all of these decisions are based on all the data that I pull from all of these different tabs here, and that's from Google Search Console, Google Analytics, and other tools that we have available on search with regards to search engine optimization. So based on that, I will then come back to you with the recommendation saying that all of this needs to be done on the site in order to get your site into a healthy standpoint, because there's no point doing any work, wasting any money on a site if it's not in a healthy condition. So based on that, these recommendations come back and then we look to implement these. Then the next thing we need to do is then understand who are your competitors. So then we'll do a competitive analysis against your site versus 3 of your top competitors, and we'll understand how you are on a basis of a business level, how your content is versus theirs. If you do e-commerce, how you are for local, and how you are from an SEO standpoint, and then how your social channels are. So that again gives us a good understanding of how you compare to your competitors and what the likelihood is of you ranking and how quickly that's going to happen. Then once we've done that, we move over to this document, which then allows us to look at what all of your competitors are doing. So here I've put in 5 competitors for this particular client which does solar power, and it shows us all the different keywords that our competitors are ranking for, which our site, the client site, is not ranking for. So this then tells us, well, if all of our competitors are ranking for these keywords, then we need to make sure that at least we have content about them too, and we need to see how similar our content needs to be in order to rank for it. Once we understand what keywords we're going to target, then we move on to the next stage, which is content creation. And this is quite a useful document because this helps outline to the content writers everything that we need to talk about. So if, for example, you go to Google and you type in anything into Google and you look at positions 1, 2, and 3, that's Google showing you what you need to do in order to rank for that keyword. Now, you may see, for example, if all of your competitors are writing 500-word article and you go and produce an article which is 250 words, well, Google's already showing you that what's ranking is 500 words, so we know that your 250-word article is not going to rank, and that's just an example. And then other things is going into more detail about how many images does your competitors using per article, how many links are they using, and all of that, and that gives us an understanding of what content we need to produce. And then off the back of that, we then do the off page, which is backlink building, to make sure that we are always looking to increase your DR to bring the site up. But anyway, I'll keep this video as short as I can. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. And if you have any questions, it would be great to jump on a call and go through it in more detail with you. Thank you.